Hi, Shireen. How are you?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, your other classmates are slow in coming today.
Yeah,
All right.
guess
How was?
we'll soon join.
Yeah, well, Gabby's joining now. How was your
Okay.
day so far?
Hectic.
Yeah, just imagine. Is it
Letter.
do you have busy seasons for you, or every season is just a busy season for you?
Every season is just a busy season.
Wow, wow, Jesus.
But you did not send the
Hey,
updated.
that's true. Never mind. Before we go today,
Yeah.
just send just give me a little nudge because I mean I have quite a number of stuff to send to you.
Okay.
I've made an addition to the. You're talking about the change of the graph.
Right.
Yeah, man. I changed the graph. Hi, Gabby. How you doing? Yeah, man. So I changed the graph, but I'm going to be using that document today, and
Okay.
so I don't want to send it now because I have
And
some updates in it that I need to go through with you first
uh-huh.
before I send off. Wow,
Okay.
just imagine. So, well, all I'm gonna say is that, you know how to do it because you went through 2 years already with the associates. So, just pace yourself so that at least you can,
What
find the time to study.
what is throwing me off though is the how the as I've spoken to you before, how the classes are structured. Because we
Yes,
meet
yes,
so often, like
right.
you don't get that
A
time.
little break in between.
Right.
Yeah, the only break you get really is just on a Friday.
On the Friday,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
It is, well, it is what it is here. The, the truth of the matter, let us see how best we can restructure the second semester. So
yeah,
to see if we can at least give a little one day, the free day in the middle of the week, so to speak.
yeah,
Because the you know it's just that when we got the go ahead, we needed to the general well, the specific courses, people needed to prepare for them, and like this course,
right.
I everything that I'm presenting to you is new stuff because we've never taught the course before,
Right.
so we had to be putting stuff together. So what we didn't want to have is four course specific courses where you have one person teaching two new courses.
Mm-hmm.
It is unfair to the person. So um, what we did is try to put in two of the general ed courses, which is the HRM
Okay.
and the administrative come. But come next semester, let us see how best we can restructure it. If it is that you're not doing any, if you're not doing any what no, any course specific courses, general courses rather.
Yeah.
We'll see how best we can, kind of just mix it up a little bit and just try to get it
Right.
out. Yeah, but outside of that though, just continue working hard.
Yes, sir.
See how best we can log on.
Yeah.
Gabby, how was your day? Gabby?
Right. Gabby stepped away.
Yeah. Or the other one, maybe she doesn't want to talk to me. Which is it, Gabby?
Sorry, I stepped away. You were
Okay.
saying? I heard my name.
Now I was asking how was today? How's it been?
I slept.
Ah, you slept.
Yes.
Lucky Gabby.
Can I tell you?
Lord.
Uh, sister now calling me, but of course I can't answer her. So Gabby, you slept. I envy every bit of every second of the sleep that you got. I envy it.
Well, I didn't sleep much, so
I
don't.
couldn't care less. Even if it's 5 minutes sleep you get, I will envy every millisecond of it. Oh my goodness. I came inside this morning, could have been about 9 o'clock. I came inside and I had a long conversation, about an hour and a half conversation with my assistant. And we were talking about some stuff. And at the end of the conversation, I said to her, ask her if she have any money. And she said, why? And I said, please, just book for me a room at the hotel tomorrow with the extra money you have. And what I will do is, oh, Jesus, I see one of the students coming here. Hold on a minute,
Okay,
please.
sir.
Anybody has a link that can send in the group for me, please? Anybody? You have the link, Sherry?
No, I'm logging on with my computer.
Oh, okay, all right, fine. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, man. So I said to her, do you have any money? She said, what happened? I said, just do. Just book one hotel for me, please. I'm going to book the hotel. I will know. So Saturday morning, about 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, you want drive far. Montego Bay, you name it, just drive far. I have a class at 8 o'clock, but I'll drive far and catch down here to 8 o'clock and I will sit down in the car and have my class for the 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then when I finish the car, I go eat a breakfast until I hear say eat no more. And then by then time when the rooms will be ready. So you know what will happen? I shall go inside, I put in everybody out of the room and say, go and enjoy yourself and I
You're
shall be
right.
going. I'd have cut a sleep, you see, man. Yeah, no, sir. But you know, those are the wishful thinking because I know it's
Yes.
not going to happen. But trust me, it is just you feel so it's just so much.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, man. It's a whole lot to just
It's a lot, sir.
Jesus, I tell you, and you know the truth of the matter is that even though I am feeling how I'm feeling, I still look forward to my classes because I have some. I mean, you guys keep me going, and that's just the honest truth. Though I'm tired, I mean, like when I'm finished now,
Yeah.
I just need to a good wash off, and then I shall just go and pull a good sleep. And then
Exactly.
no, me have mapped out in my mind with the diet because when we call it now 5 o'clock come,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can we can
You're up
not 5 o'clock. When 4 o'clock come,
or
we can
four.
we can't sleep.
Mhm.
Me have to up. And I was like, what does that mean? It's like them say bosom for me. So it's just one of those things. But I'm grateful.
Yes, sir.
Some people complain about, oh Lord, I have so much work to do. So it's like to me wanted to work, I can pay the bills.
That is true. And you're not in the hospital laying
I,
down
I, I,
somewhere.
listen to me. I got the shock of my life today when I heard that from my church sister is living out her last.
Oh no.
And I'm like, wow, somebody
Mm-hmm.
who is on radio and
Yeah.
you know, and our brother also is somebody well known in the
Right.
society too. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this death is no respect of person, and this
No.
sickness is no respect of person. And today
And
you're here,
tomorrow you're not.
tomorrow you're gone. It
Then you
just
can't
comes
even
with,
grieve properly for the persons. It's not
which
the
is the point,
same. It's
which is the
like
point, which is the point.
that
You
is
know,
just for the family now, it seems.
absolutely because of this darn COVID.
Yeah.
It is rough, man. I mean, one of my best friends lost his father.
Mm-hmm.
And funny enough, one of my lost his grandfather earlier on this year. And I went and joined us, of course, me and going to no funeral home. So me sit down in the
Mm-hmm.
car and then what got the burial going. And when me think say COVID is about to come now, me come back out.
Yeah.
And then my other best friend, his father died. And then, I had to go to the funeral. So it's just not a
Mm-hmm.
time. And I mean, when I went to that one, I don't know how much was in the first one, but when I went to that one, it's about 10 people in there.
Yeah, it just feels
It
so.
takes, yeah, it takes that way. So every minute now, I'm calling them. Are you
Mhm.
okay? Yeah, man.
Yeah,
But you see him now. He was 95,
yeah.
95. Yeah, so him living life.
My
But
friend, her sister died, and I couldn't even hug her.
yeah,
You just can't.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, 43.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she had
Younger?
cancer.
Oh no.
And boy, I tell you, it's a lot, sir, really.
You know,
Life.
it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. One minute, please. Hello? Huh? Hold on. Yeah, man. It's just hard for you to be grieving now with people, and there are some senior members of my church that I will go and look for, and after they stand up at the gate, no,
Yeah.
people who don't come out and call them, they say, who is that? And I put up my face, me, how you do?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll talk to them and say, all right. And say, yeah, man, look good. And they say, okay, fine. But one of them know what, I mean, I take care of that one for sure.
Yeah.
It was scared that she collapsed. I was
Mm-hmm.
leaving the house to go to her house, to drop off some medication, and then I ended up thought to say that she collapsed. I said, what?
Wow.
What do you mean collapse? We took her stop. I mean, she never collapsed really, but I mean, her blood
Yeah.
pressure was so low, 76 over 60.
Mm-mm.
So, to go
Wow.
go and get food and try to get some salty food for her. So, of course,
Oh,
you go to the Burger King to get the fish sandwich, which is kind of salty. So
right.
you get the salty food. So by the time she swallowed it and burped 2 times, the blood pressure reached up to 77 over 70. And, you know, I cooked a little red pea soup with a little salt in there.
Right.
So I tell her to drink it, so at least it will bring it up. But of course,
Mm-hmm.
you have to monitor it because,
You have to
well,
monitor because you don't
yeah,
want to get too
absolutely, absolutely. But life is
life.
so it's unfair.
Mm-hmm.
The good die young, the
Yeah.
good die, and the ones out there who are killing people and
Yeah, they're
you
still
know,
running up and down.
healthy.
Healthy.
Healthy, no, not healthy, healthy. They are very healthy. Healthy, not a thing wrong with them.
Yeah.
COVID come, them not wear masks, them not catch COVID.
Nothing.
Them go to somebody who die of COVID and hug them up and kiss them, and them still not catch COVID.
Mhm.
And them healthy, and they're the ones that they're creating havoc. But it's one of those things, we just have to be thankful that we're
Yeah.
alive above earth,
Hmm.
and we can just give God thanks. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Manning. How has the day been? I think he may have stepped away. Sheldon,
Yes, sir.
how has the day been so far? We're just kind of catching up until
Very
others.
tired.
Very tired? Oh, how was work today?
I haven't gone as it.
Oh, wow. So you've been after class?
Yeah,
Fortunate you. Hope that you got some rest.
okay.
hmm Well, so I guess everybody had an eventful day. I was just
Except me.
up. I envy you. I told you already. I Zabby slept, so I was just saying to her that I wished I could be gifted with going to Montego Bay or Ocherius for this weekend. I know I have a 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock class, but I care not. I will leave the house at about 4 a.m. and I'll take that nice little 3.5, 4 hours drive to Ochi or to Montego Bay rather. And then I will just sit in the parking lot, even wait until the hotel gate open, park up to the gate and conduct my class on my phone. And then when the class finish, I step in and say, breakfast, please. Breakfast or lunch, whatever it is. And by then, I eat and belch. It's time. 3 o'clock must come. Where you can just go in and just occupy your room and I just relax for the rest of the Saturday. Sunday and regrettably come back up the Monday. But it's just it's just tiring. It's just and then well, what is so surprising is the amount of rain we've been having and the time is so hot. And it can't say to me that boy, so the rain bring on the heat because trust me, you used to say the whole of Jamaica as environmentalists um, was washing away. I mean, the soil is so liquefied
Yeah.
that it starts to move. So I don't think Earth is really hot now. I mean, it has cooled down somewhat. So I don't know. Dawn, how you do, mums? You good?
Last that.
Dawn, us? Dawn, let's just put on the pot with the curry chicken and thing. All right. So I trust that you guys have been doing pretty well. I mean, I looked at Erico and I see that some of you are moving. Um,
Sir, like they and Bex there,
clearly,
cause she
um,
normally is either me and her or her would I be the first ones at class, but you know see her, I
mm,
hear her,
well,
never
guess
hear
what?
her, so we look if she did there.
Well, guess what? I don't know
Oh,
what it is.
Mr. Sean,
Yes, dear. Sorry.
Mr. Sean,
Uh,
today is the aunt's funeral.
oh, today's the funeral?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe she don't
So
vex
I
with me
don't,
then.
no, I
Maybe she,
don't think so.
right, maybe she don't vex with me then, Gabby. She has a funeral. Oh, yes, her aunt died. Yes, her aunt died. So today's a funeral. So we can, send her a message in the group to be strong. Um, so I remember she called me. Yeah, she did call me. When her aunt passed. As a matter of fact, I think she was with me when she was making arrangements for the aunt to be admitted, and then the aunt died the following day, and then she called me and told me. All right, so we'll just keep her in our prayers and just ask that Father God give her the peace that passes all understanding, not just her but the other family members. I
So,
think it's her father's sister that died actually.
mhm.
All right, so I had a look at the papers and I downloaded the papers today, saved them copied them and saved them to my Microsoft Word. I'm going to send them back to you, not today though. Um, I looked through some of them and I recognized that a few people are understanding what to do.
Sir, what papers?
Sir, I saw my mistake, so I know where I went
You know, you
wrong.
went wrong, right?
Yeah.
And I saw your mistake too. The
Yeah.
test, the quiz, the pop quiz that I gave,
Yeah.
Oh, that
and
okay.
yes, and and I would have gotten a telephone call from another student who says, "Sir, I saw where I went wrong."
Yeah.
But there are one, two, three students that totally missed the mark. And I thought to myself, you can a galang a teach, and there is an identified issue that to the point where I am still going to be moving on tonight. Nonetheless, I wanted to have covered the unit 2, the presentation of the data or graphs, but I was halfway through through that unit. I am going to go through two more topics. I'm going to do frequency distribution, something that we have been looking at from measures of central tendency, and it gives me an opportunity again when I touch frequency distribution to speak about the measures of central tendency, calculating the mean, mode, the median, and just looking and playing around with the data, as well as looking at a line graph, the thing for histogram and
Bar chart.
and the cumulative frequency curve and the polygon that need to be done, all being well on Tuesday.
Sir,
I'll
with
do
it the cumulative frequency
frequency,
polygram in pre-cal.
not pre-cal. Not pre-cal. No, we don't do that in pre-cal. We should have done it in
Sorry, we never exactly got in details, but when we were doing, you gave us some. I don't remember the topic, but we had to draw it, sir. Basically,
Oh, okay. So
draw.
it looks like the frequency polygon, but it is actually exponential graphs. So it's
Oh,
two different things, right? So it looks like the frequency polygon, but I know what you're talking about. It's actually the exponential graphs. That looks like half-life graphs. But so I will just hold on to the histogram, that last part of it, because as I said before, it don't make sense. I rush through the stuff. I'm finished with the syllabus, and if you go with me, you recognize that I'm going through the syllabus point by point, to the point where this syllabus here, this unit, I made sure to copy. Let me just see something here. I made sure to copy what is required of us so that I can show you as we go along. What am I looking for? Show you as we go along what is required. So if you look at the screen, it says Unit 2 presentation of data. It says 6 hours. So really, two from last week, two for Tuesday. Yeah, so we are at about our 6 hour now. These 2 hours will be 6 hours. It says construct simple frequency table from a given set of data. We have done that. Determine class intervals, boundaries, and limits for up from the given data. We have done that. Construct a group frequency table from a given set of data. We have done that. Draw and use pie chart, bar charts. We have done those. Histogram, frequency polygons, and curves related to frequency polygons and curves. We have not yet done that. So it's just a piece of four we have done. Use exploratory data analysis techniques to select the most suitable tools for data and analyzing. So what that means, we need to get some data, and based on the data that we get, we need to select based on what it is that we would have studied, which is the best representation of that data for the graphs that we are using, right? So it is very important that we go through and know, because not all graphs are suitable to represent our data. Some graphs are more effective in representing data as when compared to other graphs. All right. So you have to select your best graph. So it is that it can convey effectively and efficiently what it is that you want to be able to be conveyed. All right. And then the content, was talk about pictograms and pie charts. We looked at those. Pictograms, pictographs, same difference, can be used to illustrate data. um, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I stand corrected. Matter of fact, let me not assume. Let me ask Dawn, please to unmute. Tell me how it is that you can use a pictograph in your area of work currently. Is a pictograph something that you could use to convey any information? And if so, tell me how. And I want the rest of you to think about it, because I'm going to go through to see how best you can do the stuff. Oh, so when I say unmute, Don, I don't mean just unmute alone. Can you unmute and speak, please? All right. So while Dawn gathers her thoughts, Sheldon, tell me how it is that you could use a pictograph to convey critical information for what it is that you do. I mean, in your professional life, how can you use a pictograph to convey some information, and what type of information you could possibly convey using a pictograph?
Sorry, I forgot my think about that one the first time. Picture graph not really working on my ear that well.
Pictograph don't work. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it would work in my ear that well.
In terms of how so?
Because we're more bar graph and histograms would based on our data.
Based on your data. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
But question to you now, do you think a pictograph could be used? Okay, so you're saying that you're not seeing that readily. How could you infuse a pictograph in your current field?
Uh, I guess probably to represent flavors.
Okay, good. That's an excellent one. There's
Mm?
something else that no, I'm saying that's an excellent suggestion, but there's something else that comes to mind, but I won't say it just yet. I'll wait until the others have spoken. All right, so you could use flavors to represent your pictograph. Um, and you could also, I mean, like the ones that we were projected, you could say use a pictograph to represent the. I mean, I know when it is that you talk about flavors, suggesting that the mere fact that you pluralize it suggests that you have more than one. All right, and once it is that you talk about flavors, would suggest that people will have their preference, whatever it is that, or wherever you work and whatever you do. The mere fact that you speak of flavors, it suggests um, something that is consumed. And once it is that you have the consummation of something, you will have preference by the customer. And
Yeah.
the pictograph could represent something. You know, you could say 4 out of 5 clients prefer a particular flavor: banana, cherry, grape, strawberry, whatever it is that you would do. All right. So and
Yeah.
then
Probably in terms of ratings.
very good. And in terms of the ratings, excellent. So you see what is happening now. So when he spoke class, he says pictographs don't really work in his area. It's mainly histogram and bar graphs and pie charts and so forth. But now, as we have the conversations, he is now recognizing that the pictograph could also be infused in what it is that is being done. All right, good thanks. Dawn, how could you use based on what it is that you do? Dawn, are you hearing us? Shireen, how could you use a pictograph to represent your stuff?
So, for example, I'm dealing with blood samples and we have to deal with hemolysis. So
Mhm.
maybe we could use the pictograph to highlight blood sample, or we could use it to recognize how much is samples per month is hemolyzed, or how much samples are actually good serum quality samples and stuff like
Mhm.
that. We
Excellent.
use a lot of histograms to and bar chart to represent collections of
Mhm.
samples in the parishes throughout the
Mhm.
island. So we use some of those.
All right. Let me tell you why I asked the question. And I think it came out based on what Sheldon said earlier. What Sheldon says, and I quote,
Mm.
we don't really use pictograph, we use mainly more bar chart and bar graph. And
Right.
sometimes organizations are sometimes not even aware of other types of representation of the data. And
Yeah.
because bar graph and pie chart and histograms are the more common ones,
Somewhat, right.
they just do that. But I'm telling you, there are different types of representations that can that can convey even more effectively.
And
Uh,
sometimes the pictogram breaks the monotony of using,
absolutely,
so people are more even excited to see something different.
absolutely. It is so reader friendly, so to speak, because
Right.
for you to go on and read a histogram or you can say, Lord Jesus, me never so good on the mathematics. How them get a 50% here? But I mean, a
Right.
pictograph is anybody can read it.
Mhm.
All right. Before I even give my other thing, Ismail, how could you use a pictograph to represent what it is that you do, Nova?
Yes, good day.
Mm-hmm.
How I could use it
A picture graph, yeah. How, I mean, based on what it is that you're doing currently for your work, how could
Yes.
you how could you use a picture graph to represent your data?
Yeah, so maybe we could have like maybe 10 persons on a
Mm-hmm.
desk
Mm-hmm.
on the phone, and then have like percentages for one column as one part, a percentage wise, and then that can maybe highlight or illustrate that 40% of persons of 10, for example, 10 persons, and then
Mm-hmm.
40, the next
Mm-hmm.
one have maybe 30, and then they can differentiate that way there.
Okay, good, very good. And I mean, and if I were to um, to interpret what it is that you just said, you could look at maybe student or customer satisfaction, and based on what it is that you do, um, you know, um, you could say every 10 persons that I would that I interface with when I ask them to fill out the survey at the end of a conversation. Say for example, you work in a call center. All right, let me not use that. So whenever I call my bank for them to either reset a password or for them to verify something or whatever cause it may be for me to call the bank, they will say to me, and of course when they are very nice and I don't have to be rude to them or they are very cheeky, they will say, they are want to put on, they call it now, they invite you to do a survey. Of course, if they're kind of very cheeky and rude, them don't ask me to do a survey because they know so them just get marked down right there. But if at the end of the period they do the survey and a report comes out from their supervisor, and every survey that they do, they get high marks, and on a given day they would have gotten like a 95%. Um, your supervisor can actually do a picture graph to say customer satisfaction from this agent is a 9.5 out of 10. So as Ishmael was saying, they could have 9 stars or 9 people, and 9 of them are shaded, and then half of one is shaded to show you that is 95% customer satisfaction. So once you look at that, you can see that this is top rated agent, sell the most product or is efficient in dealing with students' queries or customers' queries, whatever the situation is. All right, good job. Gabby, what say you? All right, so Gabby stepped away again. All right, so one of the areas that I would also see happening in any place of work again is, you can rate the cafeteria, the canteen, um, you know, on a particular day. For example, there is something on social media, and I love seeing it. And it is being replicated not only in Jamaica but elsewhere, where this guy would have gone like to KFC to buy a zinger sandwich, and he has started eating the sandwich, and in walk up to the counter, places filled with a lot of customers. Oh, who made a sandwich here? And of course, all the workers are dumbfounded, like, geez and peas, they must have found one lizard or a cockroach. And the man has his sandwich in his hand, and he now becomes the center of attention. Say, I want to speak to the supervisor. Who made a sandwich here? And then one brave, lonesome person said, is there a problem? And then the man come out and said, John no star, whoever made a sandwich here, make it good. Sandwich bad. You
Yeah.
understand? And then no, a lot of people are like, okay, and they just burst out in laughter because, and in applause too, because that is sort of rating. So something like that now, when you have a customer rating, when you walk in, you can put up something like that to say that this is the sort of customer satisfaction that we're supposed to have. Um, in the whole business of ISO 9000, 2001, or 2015, these are things when you walk into an organization, you want people to see what your customer rating is, and if it is anything beneath what it is that they claim, you need to tell them. In a previous life, I was a banker, and them tell you say the moment the customer walks in a teller line, the customer should not be there for more than 5 minutes. You understand? So it means that when you walk into the bank, It's supposed to be 5 minutes in the bank. That don't work. It's wishful thinking. It's something that you put in on
Yep.
paper. It now happen. It now go work. You understand? And no, if you talk about what is happening with COVID, see, I
Mhm.
spend now 3 hours, right? But let me tell you what I pride myself in. God has blessed me with people like you guys, with people like you guys, that have um, very nice jobs. So when I go to the bank, I can say, hey, but I have a past student who's here. And I will call the past student. The past student say, hey, sir, what's up? I said, I think you guys are closed, but I have a deposit to make. And I said, sir, I'm coming outside to you. Or if I go into the bank and they said, what are you doing in the line? I was like, I need to see the teller. I said, what are you doing? I said, oh, I need to leave a deposit or withdraw. He said, okay, give it to me. You don't join line, sir. What are you talking about? So those are some of the privileges that I love. But
Yeah.
in a time such as this, I know people go to the bank and tell me them spend 3 hours. Negative. That
Mhm.
can't happen to me because me not spend no three hours. Crazy. But so I'm saying to you, your pictograph is something that can be used. Now I'm going to tell you one of the things that got me. All right, so I think Dawn is not Dawn. I think Gabby is having some Dawn too, maybe having some issues because they keep dropping out and coming back in. Um, so Gabby's Dawn again. Dawn, I just get back into the class. Um, so I was invited to a little party. One of my little church nephews. I think he had his 8 or 10-year-old birthday party, and they say, "You know what? Come." I know he went and it's okay, fine, I carry a little gift and they said, okay, uncle, since you're here, you need to watch the bouncer boat. And I said, okay, fine. So you stand up and you watch the bouncer boat just to make sure the boy they're behaving themselves. And bam, come this rude little picnic. And then he said to you, I am taking you out for time out. And then the rude little picnic will say to you, after you can't take me out. I said, talk. I mean, this child does not know who I are. So I will just pull the little something and go and just hold him by the ears and say, get out. I say, you know who maybe? I said, come on, tell you something. And he will come and scrub him face. I go call my father. I said, call him. Call your daddy. I have no problem because guess what? They asked me to be in charge of this year, and I am in charge of this year. Right? And then two the same run on the side and climb up on something and get back in. I said, but you were supposed to be out. I said, come here. And to the side of the bouncer boat, they will have something that I call a pictograph. It's 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 a picture that gives you conveys the rules of the stuff. So it will say it will put a pair of slippers and then in a circle and then draw a line what it means. Or like
No
you put a shoe.
slippers,
No
right? No
slippers, no
shoe.
shoes, right? So even though he was a little one, I mean I'm telling you that boy like a fierce boy, nothing more than 4 or 5, if so much. Face about oh me can't take. I said, come here, hold him by the nails and see. And make him they ever try bite or something. I just let him go straight into one of the walls. All right? Or one of the fence then. So I said, come here. I said, read what this says. And these are things that the bouncer boat is not for people like any one of us here. You
Yeah.
understand? But when you put something like a pictograph to convey the information, even the toddler can read
Mhm.
it. I said, what does this says? He says, no, no, no slippers, no shoes. I said, good. And then it says, it have some food and have a circle in it and across there. It means no food. And he was able to read all the stuff and
Mhm.
all of that. And I'm saying to myself, okay, so now you know the rules. If you can abide by these rules, you can go. So I'm saying to you, a pictograph can convey, even to the smallest child, information that you want to do. Danger. So if it is that you want something, so based on what Sheldon is saying, and I'm only assuming, if he's talking about flavors, it's something that he is going to be um, manufacturing for argument's sake. So um, whatever it is that he does, what can possibly happen is that he may end up having something where something becomes very caustic. And if it is that I do have you for environmental chemistry, we'll speak about those substances that are caustic, for example, sodium hydroxide, um, and we talk about your hydrochloric acid, acidic. As an environmentalist, you must have and your little magnifying glass and your little bottle of HCl. So it is that if you see a sample here, you want to know, you can just go and spray a little of the acid on it to see if it effervesces, and then you can know that this is made up of carbonate, whatever the situation is. And if something is hot, you can put a little sign. Everybody knows what hot is, right? So you put those little signs so everybody can read it. So you can't tell me,
Yeah.
say, because you're not literate,
You
you don't
can't
know what
read.
all of this absolutely, right? So the pictographs can go far away, a
Mm-hmm.
far, 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 far away. All right. Um, and then now, of course, we know what our pie charts can convey. We looked at our bar charts last class, simple, multiple, and component. And today we're going to be looking at some line graphs. And again, we're going to be revisiting our frequency distribution. We looked at frequency distribution when we're looking at the measures of central tendencies. All right. And again, we're going to be spending some time on the frequency distribution tonight. So for those of you who came late, Gabby is still not back. One, two, three, four, five, six. Gabby, and Dion absent. All right. So they for those of you who joined late, I was saying to you that I had a look at the quiz. I saw where well nobody got 100% because different individuals made some simple mistakes, right? Some would have calculated the mode correctly, the median correctly, the whatever else, the mean would have made an error in something. And then I'm looking at one or two of the papers where the whole business of what is the measure of central tendencies are, in terms of the mean, the mode, the median. And I think people are missing that. So as I was saying, it doesn't make sense for me to move on much further without giving you an opportunity to strengthen your method of calculation, your modality. And I'm going to stop right here and encourage you. Please do not wait on me to get to a particular area on Edico. I'm going to ask you to start reading your tutorials and move ahead. And I'm going to say why. This is now the middle of November, the 12th, around about the middle of November. By the time we come to our next class, we're going to be past the middle of November. And so I'm seeing that we'll have, call this 2 weeks, three. I'm seeing that we're going to have another 4 weeks of classes before we go off on our Christmas break. And when we get back from our Christmas break, we're going to have 1 week and then we're going to have our assessment. So I'm going to say to you that that 1 week is just like maybe a revision, you know. So in the next 4 weeks, I will need to cover as much as I possibly can. Worst case scenario, I would have to make arrangements with this said group that I love Christmas. So don't ask me to do nothing within the week of Christmas. You see, if Christmas begins, it's like I would go up until Saturday of this week, but my Christmas week is my time. You
Yeah.
understand? But outside of that, after Christmas finish, we can drop in a little one or two little work. When the new year come and gone, we can drop in a one or two little work because I think your assessment will begin the week of the 16th. I must complete this curriculum. It's done, but I must complete this curriculum. And I think administrative com is a no exam course, and I think HRM has some sort of stuff. But whatever it is, we have to complete. The point I'm making is when I have to stop and go back to revisit areas that we would have done, it robs me of time to move forward. So wherever I have to make up, I will just have to make up. All right. So allow me then to move. I didn't send this because I had made an error with um a spy chart and I made an error with my cars. Right. No, my foods, no, my cars. Right. The favorite types of cars, make cars rather. I had it as a pie chart.
High
It's supposed to be
charge.
right. So I corrected it, and here it goes as my bar graph. And remember, the bar graph has gaps. So I made my bar graphs with those, and that is now representing the correct data. We looked at our multiple bar diagrams and our component ones, and now we're going to be looking at our line graph. I'm going to be spending some time on this. This is now 6 o'clock. Spend some time on this, maybe about 20 minutes to go through the notes. And then we're going to use the remaining 40 minutes to just work on some questions. Work on some questions, work on some questions. By the end of tonight's class, everybody should be on the same page. Please, I beg of you. So let us go. So it says line graph. shows information that is connected in some way, such as change over time. And if I look at an example, we're looking at ice cream. Don't ask me why. In the example above, we spoke about ice cream, and in the other example that I wrote, somewhere above here, not there, somewhere above here again, I speak about ice cream. Hint, hint, right? Love ice cream, right? Rocky Road is the bestest flavor ever made. All right, so with that said, and that's not debatable, incidentally. All right, so we speak about ice cream sales. Now, for example, you have a little, you know, God bless you, that little deep freeze. And you have a little shop at your gate or whatever it is. And on Monday, you made a sale of $410. And on Tuesday, you got 440. You say, blow, whoa, things are going, man. And Wednesday, reach $550. You say, wow, yes, so nice. Thursday, now you go down to 420. But, you can say maybe because um, you have heavy rains, people not coming out to come eat ice cream, whatever it is. But Friday now, you jump up to 610. And then on Saturday now, when the weekend is in and everybody is good, you have your 790. And on Sunday you sold $770 worth of ice cream. Now we talk about the steps in doing um you talk about the steps in creating your line graph. The steps in creating your line graph. And I gave you some steps. I understand the situation that we find ourselves in, well, not really we, but unprecedented times. So I gave you the steps so that at least you can use it on paper, you can use it on graph paper, but I've already gone ahead and created these graphs on the computer so I can show you what it looks like. Step one, we're going to make the vertical scale go from 0 to 800. Can anybody tell me why from 0 to 800?
Sir, for the maximum sale, it would be $790. So you want to cover that range.
Very good.
With the
Excellent.
800.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. And then it says to draw vertical scales with tick marks. Label the tick marks and give the scale a label. Your x-axis, your y-axis. You're going to draw a horizontal scale with a tick mark and label. Um, you're also going to put the dots for each data value on the graph because you're doing a line graph. And then we're going to connect the dots to give the graph and then give the graph a title. So this is what my graph looks like. So on Monday, I'm going to have 410. So sorry, let me just get the Monday. I had a challenge putting on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, I'd spelled out everything and then it was looking very jumbled, so I just shortened it.
Yeah.
So on Monday, my sale is 410. On Tuesday, my sale is 440, so forth and so on. Now, when I look at this graph, tell me what information can be gained from just looking at the ice cream sales. What information can you gather?
The highest sale days.
Go ahead, sure, and then Ishmael can come in after. Go ahead, sure.
The highest sale day or lowest.
Very good. And then you can see your high sale day was which day?
Friday,
No,
Saturday.
for Saturday. And your lowest day is?
Monday.
Monday. Okay. Ishmael, what else can you get from this graph?
Between the Monday to Sunday, it look like it's a gradual increase.
Very good. Okay. Gabby not there. Sheldon, what can you get from this graph? What other information? Huh?
Not seeing the one part, Messi.
Oh, you're not seeing it. Don't know why you're not seeing it. Seen it now?
No.
All
But
right,
I can. Oh, sorry, my phone did not. My thing wanted to be adjusted.
Okay.
Oh, you can see the difference in sales per day.
Okay. Who else is there? Don, what can you get? What other information can you gather from that? Ishmael, Don, Shereen, Don, yeah. What other information can you gather, Don, from this? All right, so moving on. So if you look at this here, you can actually um, get some information to say, you know what, um, based on what it is that I'm seeing, uh, I may need to increase um, more human resource on a Saturday because I'm selling more ice cream. You
Mm.
know, these are some of the information that can be gained from it.
I was
Um,
thinking that too, sir. And
yeah, man,
stocks.
absolutely. And get as many flavors because if you have many more, if you have more sales, it means that you have more people coming in, don't it?
Yeah.
So you can say, boy, I may just need to get more because it may draw more people to it. I can look at it and I can say, what I sell on a Saturday is twice as much as what I sell on a Monday, twice
Mhm.
as much as what I sell on a Tuesday. So I can say to you just from the graph that my sale is doubled on a Saturday compared to a Monday, a Tuesday, and on a Thursday. You follow me?
Yes, sir. Or
Yeah, man.
adjust your opening hours and stuff like that.
Absolutely. No, but these are things, no, but you're correct. So you look at the graph to see what's going to happen now. This is what is going to happen now.
Sasha,
Yes, Poppy.
the answer having some other problems. I say not here now.
Oh, okay. No problem. Can you ask her if she's hearing us, please? Important that she's hearing.
Yeah, man, she's hearing you.
Okay, good. All right. So, share from the graphs, we can interpret quite a bit of things, because
Mhm.
we can now say, you know what, me have a little ice cream store, and you know, one of my very good friends has a desire to open an ice cream store. So maybe that person should be in this class and hearing what is happening because they could get a little thing from it. So we could look at it, share, and we could say, okay, fine. So this is after week one. Then now we look at the graph and we analyze the graph and we may say, you know what? Since we're doubling the sales on a Saturday, when compared to Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we're going to get more flavors, more human resources to help us around. And then now, as I say, what we could possibly do is to adjust the opening hours. We can change those variables, share. And when we
So,
change the variables, then we'll look at the end of that week. We'll look at the graph again. And then we can superimpose one graph over the other graph. So it is that we can find out now if the sales went up,
yeah.
is what I'm saying? And then now, if the variables that we put in place cause the sales to increase, then we're going to make those variables stay because anybody who goes into our business goes in there to make money. All
Yeah.
right? And then now, what if when we do something like this, we recognize that Monday is a very slow day. We realize that Monday is really, really, really very slow. And
Mhm.
that the persons that we get, the sale that we get on a Monday can hardly is just enough to pay the person to come on a day, and it
So,
and you're spending more than your opening hours would require. You
Yeah.
may decide that I'm not going to open on a Monday because the
Mhm.
thing is, you could possibly say that people purchase enough ice cream on a Sunday or have ice cream left over from a Sunday, so
Yeah.
they don't want ice cream on a Monday. So, people look at these graphs, and that's exactly what these car companies do. When you go to
Mhm.
Toyota, when you go to Germany, when they're making these cars, they interpret the cars, I mean, the graphs, to give projections and change the variables. And
Yeah.
they change the variables to see if there's any increase in what is happening. All right. So your line graph also can give you quite a bit of information. It tells you, based on what Sheldon talked about in terms of flavors again,
Yeah.
this can tell you now the flavors preferred by by consumers. As I speak, something comes to mind. Remember, we're looking at our component bar graph.
Yes,
Say for
sir.
example, say for example, this this flavor is orange, and this flavor is blueberry.
Mm.
And what Sheldon does is to manufacture, say that he manufactures sweeties, right? Orange sweeties and blueberry sweeties, right? He could then go and he could say, this is um um he could say um grade one. This under here will be grade one students, and then no, he could compare boys and girls.
Mhm.
Of the grade one students, who buys more of the strawberry? I mean, the let me say this again, the
Orange,
orange versus the
blueberry.
blueberry. I remember Cher, maybe you, Cher, and Dawn will remember this. When we were growing up, they had things like cigarette bubble gum. I don't know if anybody
Yes,
remember the
sir, I
cigarette.
know them.
Yeah, man. And trust me, me I tell you, man, you couldn't tell me if they never put any drugs in them cigarette bubble gum. Because as you buy one of the bubble gum, you have to go back and go buy more.
It's a Gary
And
bubble
I
gum.
remember, and then things like Chinese sweetie. Remember those things?
No, I don't know the
You
Chinese
don't know
sweetie.
the Chinese
No.
sweetie. Don, fix you something, Don. I want you, Don. I want you. Things like asham. You remember them things with asham?
Yes.
So I remember going home one day and they said to me, "What you had for lunch?" And he blurted out, "Oh, I bought asham." And every foolishness we buy now, I get some blow beat me, see? And the following day, you think me get no lunch money? Big boy have to work with lunch fund. And guess what? Them claims that they must spite me. You know me do? They spite them back. You see, everything they put in the lunch fund, they carry to back same way. I don't eat because when you go to school, everybody start laughing and say, hey,
Yeah,
you carry
gosh.
lunch fund. Oh, me not up that. So the juice and the sandwich and the snack and the fruit, and those days of lunch fund was metal lunch fund, you know.
Yes.
Yeah? With
I
the
had
little
a
tongue
Star
up top.
Wars.
Star Wars. Oh, sure, you know what we're talking about. You understand? Because we never have them days of Peppa Pig and Paw Patrol, you know. Star Wars we had. So, and turtle something's business there. So you know, I just used to keep the lunch pan. If every single thing them carry them give to me in the lunch pan in the morning is what I get. Them say what to eat. I said I don't eat anything because guess what? And every day they give me the lunch pan, I carry to myself because me want to buy what me want, right? But you know, the point is you can use this in what it is that, for example, that Sheldon does, and
Mhm.
what he could do for argument's sake is
Sir,
looking
you
at
hearing me now?
yes. Come on, we are talking about cigarette bubble gum. You remember them days of cigarette bubble gum down?
God, sir, me used to get beaten for sweetie. Nobody ask me for none one. The two color sweetie, I wait
The
the
two,
name and
Paradise Plum,
yeah, sweet and sour and
sweet
them
and
something.
sour. We say blow down. I'm going to tell you a secret. It is. It's our secret. Please do not repeat it. If you
All
do,
the church man me used to eat
shut up, shut up, Don. Because you're just thieving my story. If you repeat it, I will deny it.
and
You see,
crushed sweetie.
when I used to go to church and them give me offering, my caretaker sold the bestest paradise plum. I mean, I buy like all 1 dozen paradise plum out of the offering money, you know. And the reverend to me get back it a drop in on the offering plate. It's just today I was telling somebody about it. And when my mother find out, when you're a big man, you know, my mother find out, she said, my goodness. But guess what? All of us did it. The paradise plum dawn was the nicest thing ever. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Yes.
Them young
yeah.
people now enjoy like how we used to enjoy, you know.
Mhm.
Them a
I'm
go
telling you,
go to
man.
beer and them something there.
Oh goodness! I remember them
True.
little. You remember them little the sour Chinese jumbling them with them used to have, and
Yes.
them and you put in the bag them put sugar on it and then by the time you finish school you buy at lunchtime, you know, and tell them to put some sugar on it, and by the time you done rub up it, by the time you reach home, you know, you have stewed jumbling, you know. What you going with? No man, those were some days.
Mm-hmm.
Those were some days, man. Trust me. But you know, yeah. But yes, so we can use our component bar graph to to demonstrate different stuff. So you may produce 100 bottles of 100 bottles of drink, for argument's sake, of different flavors, and you could show, and that's a good example, you know. That's a good example. Watch me. Let us use that our component bar graph. We can we can say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we produce, say, 100. So each of these spacing is representing 100. So we produce 100 of these. Sorry, somebody just came in. Let me just see if she need to come in. All right, Gabby. Oh, Dion. Welcome, Dion. Welcome. Is Gabby back? Gabby's not back. No. One, two, three, four, five.
Gabby is having some issues. She said,
Right.
I'm no longer hearing you, Mr. Sean, the computer acting up.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my Lord. Are you hearing me now, Cher?
No, Gabby had sent a message. I was just reading the
Oh,
message
okay,
for
okay,
her.
okay, okay, okay. Welcome, Dion. Um, we we know that you laid your aunt to rest today. We just pray that God will give you the strength, you and the family the strength, and just be strong. I know this is a time when you don't want to even be seen, or want to be heard. But I'm happy that you're here. At least just listen so it is that you can get as much as you possibly can. All right, we will talk afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, man, cool. So, so what we could do is say we give a school buys um an assorted flavors of geez, give me a product of biggers, an assorted flavors of biggers on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They can actually use a component bar chart to say to you, they will know how many of the flavors they would sell, and they can actually use a component bar chart to say these are the number of flavors, and look now at the spread. And in this particular case, they will say to you that the orange flavor was preferred on Monday. So when them do this, and them say them sell more orange on Monday, what you think will happen on Tuesday? You think they will buy more orange?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
absolutely. Because they are now looking to see. So if the blueberry is not the preferred drink on Monday, and they're buying the assorted, they will say to the persons, to their merchant,
Give me
um,
less
please
blueberry.
don't give me as many of the blueberry because the students don't like it,
Yeah.
right? Because I still have blueberry left over from yesterday's sale. I mean, from yesterday's purchase. So don't. So you're gonna do all of that. It's like inventory taking,
Yeah.
right? So all of that can happen. So the graph in itself can um can inform. It doesn't have to be drink. It could be pizza. It could be different types of pizza. Um, Pepperoni, cheese, ground beef, Hawaiian, you name it. All right, and it can actually map to see what is preferred by the students, and as a result of that, you can buy more of those because more students will have it in that particular case. All right. Um. So my ice cream sales can actually tell me what it is that I need to do and how I go about it, and it will inform my decision making process. All right. So that's it for that one. And then now we look at our frequency distribution of ungrouped data. This is something that we have done already. Um, we did it in measures of central tendencies, and again we are coming again. We're facing it again under our presentation of data graphs. So it says, for example, given the data, and this is ungrouped. This is our ungrouped data. Let me put that in another color so that it stands out. Where is that color? No, right? Of our ungrouped data. Talking about our ungrouped data. All right. So it says, given below are marks obtained by 20 students in math out of 25. All right. So clearly these are students who will be in my environmental statistics class because those grades don't look too bad. So what I could do for my frequency distribution is to indicate here
Mhm.
the marks obtained. But sir, why I never have one, two, three? I didn't need to write that because nobody got one, two, or three. Because my tally will be zero and the frequency will be zero. So I don't need to represent those that are zeros, right? So when I look here, I recognize one student got 12. So I recognize the distribution of marks here. The marks obtained here would be 12, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, and 25. Then I create my tally, and then I will create my frequency. Now remember that when you create your frequency, you need to check to see if everything, one way to check to see if everything is represented is by adding up your frequency, which should give you this number here, 20. So 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 and 5 is 14. 14 and 3 is 17. 17 and 2, 19 plus 1, 20. So it would have indicated that the set of raw data that I have here um, were taken into consideration in creating this frequency distribution, right? So see my frequency distribution. So it tells me how the 12s are distributed. So 15, it tells me that I have two 15s and three 17s and five 19s and three 21s and four 23s and five and two 25s. All right. What it says here also is that the presentation of the above data can be expressed into groups. You know this. We have done this before, right? And these groups are called classes or the class intervals. You know this. We have done this before. All right. I'm only doing it again because it appears under this section of the stuff. So it says that each class interval is bounded by two figures called the class limits. You have the upper
Yeah.
limit and the lower limit. You know this. All right. So if I use an interval, a class width of 10, you'll recognize a class width of 10. Watch me. Class width of 10. I will have 0 because I have nothing but between 0 and 10. So my class, my frequency there is 0 as indicated here. Between 10 and 20, 10 and 20 is going to be everything including from here to here. So 10 and 20 is going to be 5 and 3, 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 1, 11. So I'm going to have 11 between that and that. Let me just check. Yeah. And then 20 to 30, we have 9. Let us check about beneath that. 3 and 4 is 7, and 2, 9. Good. So when we add up these numbers again, we are going to be getting um, or, or number, which is 20. All right. So I've already talked about the lower limit and the upper limit. As I said before, guys, we've already done this. It appears under here where it says frequency distribution grouped and ungrouped. I had to do this before we move into the measures of central tendency. You would recognize that the measures of central tendency is unit 3. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
And this is unit 2.
2.
So I would have had to do frequency distribution first before I move on into measures of central tendencies. But I chose to move on to measures of central tendencies first before I did the unit 2. So which is why it appears here. If you look at your unit 3, you recognize that frequency distribution is not there. But I had to do it because we're talking about the measures of central tendencies. All right. So that's why you're seeing it here again. So it's not that it is repeating itself. It's just that I chose to do 3 before doing 2. All right. So it says here now, for example, in the class interval 10 to 20, and this is just a refresher, 10 is the lower limit and 20 is the upper limit.
Upper limit.
Right. You know this. This is the one that I never spoke to you about. I'm just going to talk about it. Exclusive form of data. Exclusive form of data. It says this above table is expressed in the exclusive form. In this, the class intervals are 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. In this, we include lower limits, but exclude upper limit. What we say by that? Between 0 and 10, we'll go up to 0 and 10, but we're not including 10. Because this one is going to be from 10 to 20. Talk true, don't?
Yes, sir.
Right, so it says 10 to 20 means that the values from 10 and more, but less than 20. We're not going to go up to 20 because the other class interval we're taking 20 into consideration, right? So it says here that in the class interval 10 to 20, 20 is the lower limit and 20 is the upper limit. So for the exclusive data form, we're not going up to the upper value because the upper value is going to be the starting point at the next class interval. Remember, the upper value will be the next starting point for the upper interval. But for the inclusive form, you see, I created another question. Marks obtained by 20 students of the BSc Environmental Studies are given below. This one also nice because you have one person who got a 0. All right. And then when I did what it is that I would have done up top, I know I have 20. So I'm looking at the numbers and I'm representing the marks here, the distributed marks here. And then I'm creating my tally. And from my tally, I will create my frequency. Always remember, I use my tally to create my frequency. All right. And then the data will come out to be like that. So 0 to 10, I'll have 6. You can go back and look at the data to just double check. 0 to 10, I have 6, but this is the inclusive one. This one is the inclusive one. So I'm going to include 10. So I'm going to have 6. So I'm including 10. 1, 2, and 2, 4, 5, 6. So the inclusive one is going to be 0 to 10, inclusive. And then my other interval is going to be 11 to 20. As opposed to the exclusive one, I would have said 0 to 10, then 10 to 20, then 20 to 30. The inclusive data form is 0 to 10, then we move on to 11 to 20. Inclusive means that it's 0 to 10 inclusive. And you know, you may say, sir, how, give me an example of where that is done. I may say to you, um, and I'm just thinking here, I may say to you, um, we want to find the number of the number of lecturers who come to class um, between 5 and 7, inclusive on time. So it means that you're going to be looking at those who come in exactly at 5 o'clock and those who come in exactly at 9 o'clock. I mean 7 o'clock. So it's not just between 5 and 7, or then you can look at 7 and 9. You're looking at those who come in, and but you're going to be using your inclusive data. The person is going to be included also in your data set. So if you look at it in one way, you will have, when you're talking about your exclusive data, you go from 0 to 10. The other class interval is going to start at 10, because the exclusive data is going to be one where 0 to 10 will read 0 or more, but less than 10. For the inclusive data, it's going to be including 0, including 10, because the other class interval is going to begin at 11. So you may wonder when it is that you're going to be using it. The data, the question will give you the information. Either the data is inclusive or exclusive. And sometimes we're giving questions and we'll say to you inclusive, right? It means that um, at the maximum is also going to be included in it, right? So let me give you in set representation what this means. You know, when we use these conditions for less than or equal to, that's exactly what the inclusive one is. So if it is less than 10 or equals to 10 means that the value can also be equal to 10. So that is going to be inclusive. Exclusive now will be less than, greater than, less than is exclusive. But inclusive, once I say less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, you're talking about your inclusive form. And again, it's the same explanation as I just gave. 11 is the lower limit and 20 is the upper limit. 11 to 20 means between 11 and 20, including 11 and 20, because you're talking about your inclusive data, right? So when you talk about between 11 and 20, you're talking about all the data values, you know. Okay, here a classic example. You may be wondering, sir, give me another example. Give me the number of even numbers between 0 and 10 inclusive. What would your answer be?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
How many numbers?
Sir?
Give me the number of even numbers between, okay, how many even numbers?
5.
All right,
Inclusive?
inclusive.
5.
Okay, let me hear the rest of you. Don't type your answer in the chat. Dion, if you don't, Dawn says she agree. Sheldon, what say you? Ishmael, what say you? Question is, state the number of even numbers between 0 and 10 inclusive. Shireen said 5. Dawn agreed to 5. Ishmael, what say you? Sheldon, what say you? Uh, Dion, what say you? Habla.
Inclusive of the 6?
No.
Inclusive of the 10?
Oh, yeah.
So it would be 5.
Okay, to be 5. Dion, you want to type your answer? Dawn, I'm sorry, not Dawn said it already. Ishmael, what say you?
Sir, I ticked a green tick by my name, meaning yes.
Okay, I was wondering what that green tick was. Okay, so you agree. Okay. Ishmael, come on.
Green tick is yes and X is no.
Okay, right. I see that down at the bottom. Yeah. Okay, so Dion agrees with Shireen, who Dawn agreed with her and Sheldon agrees. So 5 says 5. Ishmael, come on. What say you?
I agree also.
You agree also. Can I tell a secret?
It's wrong.
Oh, that one wrong.
So it's inclusive.
I said inclusive. So tell me the set of even numbers between 0 and 10 inclusive now. Count them for me.
So
So let's not understand it then.
You
2,
understand, but it's 2 is 1, good.
4,
Good.
6,
6,
Good.
8.
8,
Good.
Yeah,
10.
10.
Good.
Yeah.
And 0.
Oh, 0.
0 is an even number. A lot of
Is
people
that
don't
what, sir?
0 is an even
Sir,
number.
0 is any number.
0 is an even number.
Sir, is anything you want it to be.
No,
I
no,
exit the
miss.
class.
0 is an even number.
It would be an odd number
Children,
too.
I'm right behind you.
No. So
It
guess
would be
what?
an odd number too.
No, it can't be an odd number. Any number ending with 0 is an even number.
What about a prime now?
And 0 is the first prime number is 2, because a prime number has exactly 2 factors, itself and 1. So 1 is not a prime number as some textbooks say. So the first prime number is 2 because 2 has exactly 2 factors, 1 and 2. 3 is the next prime number because it has exactly 2 factors, 1 and 3. The next prime number is not 4 but 5, then 7. And somebody may say 9 is a prime number, but 9 is not a
No,
prime number.
No.
9 is a
9 is
composite
never a
number.
prime number.
It is never and will never be. So after 5, after 7,
But me
then
don't understand how comes 2 become a prime number.
it's not prime. 2 is an even number.
Even.
It's a question again, sir.
Sorry,
But them
0
don't.
you're talking about, Sheldon. 0 is an even number. And if you don't believe me, you can Google it. 0 is an even number.
I think I heard something like that already, you know, sir.
Yeah, man. You're supposed to.
I never believed it at the time.
Yeah, man. So 0 is an even number. Please remember that, guys. 0 is an
Okay.
even number. So when you look at it, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 are even numbers. So when you look at it, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So when you look at the decimal system, the decimal system goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you
That's how
count
it
from 0 to 9 on both hands, you recognize that we have 10 digits. Don't it?
Oh, sir, how you get 9 for 11 to 20? Isn't it 5?
11 to 20? 9, I soon show you. I soon show you. But I want you to see this though. Talk to me. So if you use one hand to count the number of, okay, let's go. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You talk about 10 digits right there. And that's what the decimal system is. That's what the decimal system is. The system that we are now currently using. Is when you reach 10, 10 is a combination of one of or well, two of the numbers we have, the 1 and the 0. So when you when you count on one hand, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, you talk about 5 digits. Those first 5 are even. Then the next 5 would be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And those are odd. So you have 5 even numbers and 5 odd numbers within the decimal system. And then we have combinations of the other numbers that will also give you odd and even. All right? So 0 is an even number. Any number ending with 0 is an even number. Any number ending with 2 is an even number. Any number ending with 4 is an even number. 6, 8,
Yeah.
all those numbers are even numbers. So you can look at a number and say whether or not the number is even or odd. If the number ends with 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, the number is an odd number. If the number ends with a 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, the number is an even number. Please, you learned something new tonight.
Yep.
So you can look at any number and without even checking. Once it ends at 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, even. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, odd. All right? So that was a trick question. And that's why I stopped the class to just go through to see if everybody else would have recognized that. I mean, it's a trick question. All right. Dion, you're asking now how I got 9 for 11 to 20. Let me go back to the data. 9, 11 to 20. So 11 to 20 would be from here to here because we're talking about inclusive. So we're going to count the frequency now. 1 plus 2 is 3.
You there, sir?
Yeah, man, I'm here now. Sorry about that. So 13 to 20. 13 to 20. If you count 1 plus 2 is, oh, where do I, how do I get off this? Oh man. Sorry, Leon. I'm just trying to get off this. Okay, let me stop sharing and reshare again. Because I don't that's the only way I know to get off this annoying thing. Alright. So we're looking at that, guys. So we're gonna count 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 2 is 5 and 1 6 and 1 7 and 2 9. That's all I got the 9 beyond. 11 to 20 inclusive 9. And then now the other one, 20 to 30, sorry, 21 to 30 would be these three numbers. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 2 is 5, and that's why I got the 5. All right? So just remember inclusive. So a very good example is the one that I just showed you. List all the even numbers, odd numbers between 0 and 10 inclusive. You're going to go through all of those and you can get your stuff, right? And interestingly, 1, 2, 5, 6, 9. Okay, let me answer the question another way. If the number is not even, it is
Odd.
Odd.
very good. And if the number is not odd, it is
Even.
all right. Good.
Nine.
All right. Good. No man, say even. All right. So let's go. Very good. Very good. Very good. I like that. I like that answer. I'm just showing you the answer to the question I gave you just now another way. So now, if we say we are going to list all the odd numbers between 0 and 10 inclusive, we will get 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So we'll get 5 numbers, all right? But between 0 and 10, we have 11 digits. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 digits, 11 numbers, right? So if 5 of those 11 numbers are odd,
Odd.
it means that the rest of the numbers them supposed to be even. So that by that method of deduction, that method of reasoning will also suggest to you that 0 is an even number, because if the number is not even, it is odd. The opposite of even is odd, right? So that also tells you that 0 is an even number. All right. And then now, yeah, so that's the end of what it is that I want to talk to you about today. And it's good timing because it's now half an hour before, and it gives us time to do some questions in class now. So guys, um, it is interesting. What I try to do is, do my own little research to bring some nice little questions and examples in play. I'm going to send this off right now, even before the class ends, because I'm gonna give you some work to do for me now. I really want you guys to go through. Please, I spend a lot of time doing my own preparations. This is not one of the courses that I would have taught in the past where I can just go back and draw for for information that I previously had. It means that every other day, every Monday, I have to prepare for you, especially or Tuesday, and every Wednesday or Thursday, I have to especially prepare for you because it's a new course that we're offering within the college. So I'm saying to you, when you get this stuff, please to read through, print and read, print and read. All right, so I'm going to stop share here. Um, I'm going to I'm going to close save. I'm going to close my save. I'm going to close my document. I'm going to also ouch. I'm going to also email my document um, so I can send off. What I want you to do for me, guys, is to get your paper and pencil. We're going to work on some questions. It's not a quiz. It's not a quiz. We need to do some work, some calculation. This course, which is why statistics is it includes mathematics, but it's a different branch. It's a different arm of mathematics. So, in a normal mathematics class, you wouldn't see you go through a class and you don't write do a calculation, but you'd have gone through an explanation. You're is actually seeing and interpreting and explaining. So it's more looking at an interpretation and explanation than actual calculation. Yes, sir, you will calculate, but it's less of that compared to the other forms of mathematics, the other arm of mathematics. All right. key this week. All right, so I'm going to ask that you get your paper, you write and implement your book. I'm going to project a question. I wouldn't mind if we could go through two questions and have conversations on those two questions.
Sir, could you excuse me from that activity? I'll look at the responses, but
All right, that's fine.
if you could. Okay.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna share now what I call a worksheet. I'm gonna share what I call a worksheet, and the worksheet here says the frequency distribution of the masses of 100 students is shown, and it gives it a mass in kilograms, and it gives you the frequency. I just asked you to calculate for the ungrouped frequency distribution. It's an ungrouped frequency distribution. And it's why it is frequency distribution because you calculated the frequency and you show the distribution of it. So this is not, this is almost like raw data. It is almost like the raw data, but there's some levels of frequency to it. So it is your raw data that they look at the frequency. So they would have done their tally and they gave it the raw data. So tell me what this is saying. Can somebody explain what this 30 and this 6 in this column is saying versus this 31 and this 2 and this 32 and this 8 and so forth and so on? What is it saying?
6 persons.
The mass, 6 persons for that
weigh
man.
30.
Very good.
2
So 6 persons weigh 30.
2 persons weigh 31.
Excellent.
10
You guys got it.
weigh 37.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. So when you look at your raw data could look at like 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 31, 31, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, and you see, and it goes up all that. So you get the raw data, right? So what it is that they create from the raw data is a frequency distribution. So you now know what a frequency distribution is. They would have gone through the data set, just like we did a while ago in the last piece of the unit 2. You get your raw data and you're creating a frequency distribution from it. Your frequency distribution is going to be looking at the frequency of your raw data and creating something looking like this. That is called a frequency distribution. So that is called a frequency distribution, right? So that's what your frequency distribution is. So you know what a frequency distribution is. You are looking at your distribution, which is your raw data, and you're creating a frequency thing out of it, meaning that you're looking to see how many of the numbers repeat themselves, all right? Then from this ungrouped frequency distribution, they are asking you to calculate the mode. What is the mode? By definition, what is the mode?
amount of times that each person weigh
the highest, the most
The
frequent times.
one with the most weight.
The most weight, the most frequency,
Right.
and look at that, and tell me what is the frequency? The mode. Sorry.
34.
34.
Excellent. But Dion, you see, all life is though, and you, Dion, you know I love you, you know. You know I love you. But this way you said to me a while ago, Dion.
Sir,
you
I
want
can't bother. You're gonna put me now.
okay. and I don't care no, right? I don't care. And if it means I have to go rub you in public and rub you in private, guys,
Me?
let me tell you guys. So Dion
Sir,
and
I
I,
can't vex today, you know.
Dion, that's enough of your business. So Dion and I have had a very good relationship for these many years. She has sat in many of my classes, right? And Dion just
I
did something a
never
while.
rude to you, sir.
And I know you're a decent student. You went to St. Andrew High School for girls, right? So
Yes, sir.
so what happened a while ago, Dion? The lazy switch she turned on me, right? Sir, I'm gonna ask that you excuse me from this activity. I don't know if anybody heard that.
Sir,
When she turned
would
on, I
like
don't.
know my day, you see?
I
But
understand
you
Dion,
try.
and that's why I said to you, okay, because in Dion's head, sir,
Workman, I
something.
try swing on me. But just bear my auntie. All right. So
Yeah,
you
man.
can just imagine.
I understand that. And then no, you are trying to swingle me out of trying to participate in my class. And I said to Dion, I said, okay, Dion, because I know that you had a rough day, the birth of your aunt. But you hear, oh, Dion start talk up in a class now because what? Dion, I learn.
And I'm proud of Dion because it's
I
a
need to
lot
tell you.
she is going through and
No, I need to
still
tell you, Shereen. So that's why I'm a robber.
it's a
That's why I tell
lot.
you. That's why I tell you, say a robber in a private and a robber in public. So yes, Dion, I am proud of you. I
Yes.
don't care if you vex me, Dion. For your business. At the end of the day, when you pass the stats, you can say, man, they miserably see what we pass in course. That's all I want you to say. But very good, Dion. So
Yeah.
what you're doing, Dion, you're looking to see the frequency, meaning that the most time it occurs, and that is going to be the mode. So you're recognizing now that the mode is going to be 34 kilograms. Great. I'm happy that you're seeing that. Now, let me ask you a question. How you think we can calculate the median? Matter of fact, we now do no calculation for the for number on part A and part B. The only time we go calculate something is when we reach part C. How are we going to calculate the median? I want you to talk it through. Don't calculate it. Talk me through calculating the median of this data.
Well, sir, you'd have to write out all the frequencies of the weights and then
No,
see which one
that is a long
comes
way.
in the middle.
That is a long way, Dion. That way is what Sheldon will tell me tonight. That's what Sheldon will tell me tonight.
Well, sir, it would obviously had been the same 3430 because that's the most.
Well, your answer is correct, Dion, but your reasoning is wrong. Your answer is correct. So the answer is actually 34, but your reasoning is wrong. Let me hear what Sheldon will do. I'll come
Oh,
to you, Sheldon. Let me hear.
Sheldon.
No, let me hear what. No, the reason I want to hear from Sheldon because I know that's exactly what he would say that he's going to do. Sheldon, how would you go about calculating the median for this frequency distribution?
I'll use the group data.
Oh, Lord Jesus, he'll use the group data. But remember, so the data is ungrouped, so you can't group the data because it's ungrouped already.
Oh, hold on.
Remember, you have a frequency distribution. How can we use a frequency distribution, Sheldon, to calculate the median? Huh?
Sir, that's the most time that the frequency of the weight 34 was done. So obviously if it is the most, then that would fall in the middle.
Okay, let me hear Shireen. Shireen, because when Sheldon itching and butting so, Sheldon is agreeing with Dion, right? He's in the same party. Shireen, let me hear what you're saying.
Sir, I was thinking, but you wanted the frequency. I was thinking using the mass. So because it's already arranged and you want, for median, you want both sides to be balanced. I would strike off as I go along until I end up with a balanced number, which will be the 33 and the 34 and then divide by 2.
Okay, I see what it is that you're saying. So you'll end up getting the 34. So your answer will be right, but your reasoning will be wrong. Okay.
Oh.
Ishmael?
Yes, sir.
So Dion, Sheldon, and Shireen would have gotten 34. They are correct, but the reasoning is not correct.
Okay. I get 34.
I'll tell you how to reason it out.
Sorry.
But yes.
Yeah.
But if I use
So what we're supposed to use, the frequency to...
Absolutely. All right, so let us go.
What if you use the frequency, sir, and you're not going to use the group data formulation?
Watch me. How many people we have here?
100.
100.
All right.
100.
So this is what Sheldon always said. What is 6 plus 2? Sorry, 100. You talk about the median is a middle number, don't?
Right.
So the middle of the data is going to be what?
100.
50 and 51. 50 and 51, don't?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. 50 and 51 with the 50 and 51 with the middle of the data.
Yeah.
So you're going to count up the frequency then,
The
and then divide it by 2 and which
the cumulative frequency. So 6
yes.
plus 2 is
8.
And 8 plus 8 is
16.
And 16 plus 20 is
36.
And 36 plus 30 is
66.
That means that the median falls within this group here.
Yeah, because it gone over.
It gone over. So the median falls within this group. And what group is this? The group of 34.
34.
So the median
Mass.
falls there. So the math's right. So all of your answers are correct. But I want you to get into the habit now of looking at the cumulative frequency. So the cumulative so So that's again, somebody?
Yes, sir. I hear you, sir. Could just go back over that one more time?
One more time, no problem. So,
Sorry, that say.
um, yeah, okay, Sheldon. So if
No,
you
no,
look,
because more that made that telephone. That's what I was saying.
oh, that's what you're saying? Sorry, I didn't get that from you. But okay, if you're saying that, you'll be correct. So what I'm saying to you, remember, Dion said, "Sir, this 30 and this 6 is representing 30 written down 6 times because the frequency tells me how many times it's written down. True or false?
Yeah.
This 31 says to me that I'm writing 31 2 times, 32 8 times, 33 20 times, 34 30 times, and so forth and so on. All right? So if what Dion says, or she would get her answer, is write out 6 of 30, 2 of 31, 8 of 32, and I'm saying, no, that's not going to take too much time, right? But we can use our ungrouped frequency distribution table to get the information by looking at the cumulative frequency. I am not saying that how Dion did our stuff would be incorrect, but I'm saying, what if they gave it 200? What if they gave it 500? You can write out other than 500 something there? No, man, it can't do that. So you look at the cumulative frequency. Because if they give you 500, all you need to do is calculate the cumulative frequency up to 250 because half of 500 is 250. So you need to
Okay.
just calculate the cumulative frequency of 250 and anywhere that catch, that is going to be the median. True or
Mhm.
false?
It's chicken.
True.
All right, good. Let's go. So we want 50 Ishmael because we have 100 right here. So we want 50 because the 50 divided by 100 divided by 2 is 50. So we want catch 50. So we're going to say 6 plus 2 is 8, and 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 20 is 36. We don't reach 50 yet. 36 plus 30 is 66.
Yeah.
So our 50 lies within this range. So we're going to say we have 34. You know what this means? That when you reach, like, for example, the 45th number is 34 too. Then the 46th number is 34, the 47th number is 34, the 48th number is 34, the 50th number is 34, the 51st number is 34, the 52nd number is 34. So when you add the 34 plus 34 divided by 2, you get 34. That's what it means.
Okay, I understand, sir. Well, could you
Got you.
is it possible for you to like go deeper, like more specified or more accurate?
That is accurate.
No, I mean more accurate if it's possible in the
But
environmental statistics field.
come on, come on. See,
Yes,
Trey, so
sir.
what I did, for my solution, I created my table and I did my frequency. And then now, because I had to do this in order to calculate the mean, I had to do this in order to calculate the mean. So what I would have done is to look at the frequency. So all of this here that is given
Mhm.
is all of what is in the table. All right?
Right.
And then now, I would have looked at this and done my cumulative frequency. The only reason I don't want to do the cumulative frequency yet, because I don't reach here so yet. But just like our grouped data, um, is the same procedure that we're using. 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 8 is 16, plus 20 is 36, plus 30 is 66. It means that the
In the
50
50
34th.
is 34.
lies within that thing. So it's going to be the median weight. So 34 is going to be the median weight. So what it is that it can do is just look at the data and just tell it what it is, right? On the other hand, when I'm calculating my mean, I know I have to multiply the 30 by the 6. I write that down, the 31 by the 2, but you all know this because this is what we've always been doing. The 31 by the 2 to get 62, 32 by 8 to get 256, so 4 times 1, 37 by 10 to get 370. You add up all of these. The sum of your frequency must add up to 100 because you know that you have 100 numbers working with in any event. All right? And then you're going to divide your 3394 by 100, you're going to get 33.94. And that would be those are your answers.
And
It's
just
so
what?
easy
Yeah.
that was Dion. Dion gone now. Ishmael, you were saying something?
Yes, sir. So how much marks you would get for this? And also, if you were to make a mistake, it would have throw it off. Would you
Oh
still
yeah.
get like,
I mean, a question like this may give you. It's because this is so easy. It could be a 5 mark. So give me 1 second, please.
okay?
Yes, Ishmael. A question like this could be an easy 5 marker and a really easy 5 marker because right there and then, and I will give you 1 mark to calculate the mode. Because you see, um, Dion looked at the information and said, but how can I question this circumhuman in the night here? The mode must be 34, sir, because this has the highest frequency. So this is just a 1 marker. The median is,
Sir,
yes, Poppy,
my question is, why is it that we're not using the midpoint for this question?
because you don't have a class boundary.
Why? Why we're on a class boundary?
Because remember the midpoint you would get a class interval like 10 to 20. So because this is not a grouped data. So if the data was grouped, then you'd use the class boundary. I mean the midpoint. You follow me?
Yeah.
Right. So for example, this other question that I will give to you to do for homework. This one is grouped. See, use a grouped frequency distribution now. This one was ungrouped. So the grouped frequency distribution now, you have to end up using midpoints. Because remember now, here you can add 1 plus 20 to get 21 divided by 2, you can get a 10.5, right? Because this one, remember when you have your grouped data, some of the data values get missing. Because this 17, I can't tell you from this data value. Nobody can tell you from this data value that you had how the 17 students distributed between 1 and 20. You follow what I'm saying, class?
Yes, sir.
I can say to you that all 17 got 20. I could say to you all 17 got 1. I could say to you that no student got 1 or 20. But you and I don't know because in our grouped data, the real data values get lost. And that's why we have to find the midpoint. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, look at our unit 3 that was sent. Read the measures of central tendency. In the grouped data, you don't have the actual values. I cannot tell you that how the 14 students are distributed between 81 and 100. I don't know. Nobody knows. The only way we can know is unless the raw data was given. However, when I find the midpoint, which is what Sheldon is asking, of this, then I'm going to use the midpoint of this to multiply by the 14 to give me the frequency. And then know the mode, the median, and the mean will be estimated values. Do you remember that?
Sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Estimated values. As opposed to this question, the values are not estimated. They are actual values. And if you don't believe me, if you don't believe me, what you can do, you can go ahead and you can write out the 36 times and the 31 2 times just to prove to yourself so that you don't have to do it one more time. Because sometimes when teacher give me something in class, I disbelieve what the teacher saying. I say, yes, you can
Sir,
go and talk. Yes, Papa.
no require for using the formula
No, for this one,
overall.
for the ungrouped data frequency distribution.
Yeah.
No. The only thing I have to go to know is to know see if I go add up all of these, the frequencies.
Okay, now.
It doesn't require for using the formula that you would use for the group data.
Very good, it doesn't.
Okay.
Because the formulas that I gave you.
It's for group data. No, I'm just saying that.
Absolutely. Very good.
Because you'd have a lower class boundary and an
upper class boundary. Very good.
Because the start off mean more than median without any formula, and then we move into formula. So now we'll get introduced to the hand group data now.
Very good. No, you got introduced to the group data because you're always accustomed to be using the ungrouped data, right?
Mm.
So I love the questions that you're asking, Sheldon. You know why? Because it is helping now to concretize some of the things that we're talking about. So when we're looking at our ungrouped data, we don't need any formulas. Dion is saying that, sir, I'm gonna write out 30 6 times and 31 2 times. And I'm saying to her, you don't have to do that, my friend. What you can do is just look at the cumulative frequency. And once you reach 50, because why we're looking at the cumulative frequency, watch me. Because when we write out 6 of the 30, we reach 6. And 2 more of the 31, that's an 8 number. And 8 of the 32, that's a 16 number. And when we write out 20 out of 33, 16 and 20, that's a 36. So we catch 36 numbers already, right? And then after the 36 number, then the 37th number is 34, the 38th number is 34, the 39th number is 34, all the way down to the 66th number is
That will be a
34.
lot.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, sir. What?
No, Sherry, you follow me, no, but the rest of them not catch it. We lose somebody a while ago. Sheldon, you get what I just said a while ago?
Or Sheldon get bounced off.
No, man, him dead, man. Don't you get what I just said a while ago?
I unmute, but you never done unmute.
Oh, you get what I said a while ago, Sheldon?
Come on, me I follow.
Don't you get what I said a while ago, sweetie?
Yes, sir.
Do you get what I said a while ago? Ishmael, get what I said a while ago?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. I'm going to say it again because there is somebody who answered me yes, and they're not too sure. I don't know who it is, but somebody answered me yes, and they're not too sure. So let me say it one more time. Why are we using the cumulative frequency here? I'm using the cumulative frequency to catch my median because when I write out all these numbers like Dion was suggesting, I would have written down 6 of 30, so I have 6. Then I write down 231, that's an 8 number so far. And then I'm going to have 8 of 32. So I count 8, I'm going to count another 8, I'm going to get 16. And then I'm going to have 33, I'm going to have 20 of the 33 written out. So that's 16 plus 20 are going to be 36. And then the 37th number is going to be 34. The 38th number is 34. So is it 39? So is it 40? So is it 50? So is it 50? And so forth and so on until I reach 66.
Sir,
The 60, yes, Papa.
you know my problem still stand.
Uh-huh.
Why you keep on omitting the table? Why you don't just insert the table?
Why I keep omitting the cumulative frequency? And that's a good question. I just don't feel comfortable using it just yet until I use the cumulative frequency, until I formally introduce the cumulative frequency, then I'll use it.
But I try to do from God knows when I keep on omit it.
And that's fine.
And I think that's what threw me off in one of the questions. Well, I had it, but
no, it wouldn't throw you off in it. Oh, what is that? Undo. Insert column to the left. So that is going to be 6. 6, then 8, then 16, then 36, then 66. 66 and 18, that's 70, that's 84. 84 and 6, that's 90. 90 and 10, that's 100. So that's the cumulative frequency. So it means then that my 66 right here, my 50th number or 51st number lies within this number here. So it tells me that my median is that here. So Sheldon wants me to put the cumulative frequency. There goes the cumulative frequency. Sir, what is the cumulative frequency? Press pause until next class. I'm going to tell you what the cumulative frequency is. All right, and that's what we do. And then the mean, of course, the mean will be the same thing as we would have done. And remember for the cumulative, well, don't remember, but for the cumulative frequency, the first number remains the same. The first number will always remain the same.
Yeah.
It is this number plus this number to give me this number, and this 8 plus this 8 to give me 16, 16 plus this 20 to give me 36, so forth and so on.
66.
All right. Now, hear me out. Oh, class time done. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send this off also. So I'm gonna send off these 2 papers, these 2 documents to you. And question 2 is for homework. Please, guys, I'm gonna ask that you do the homework. In doing these questions, you will only get better at it. Please, don't just have it there and not do it. Do them, you get better at them. All right. Based on the fact that somebody locked us out of the class, I don't want to do that. Somebody else that same game because we don't play evil for evil. It was nice having you. I really hope that you enjoyed class and I really hope that you learned something tonight.
All right, so you're going to be on Canvas?
No, man. I'm going to send it in Edicus. I'm going to talk about we use Edicus off.
Okay, my bad.
We're going to use Edicus off. Yeah, man. All right. Best up, guys. Take care.
Yeah, man. Cool.